Last week I tried an audio plugin called Vinyl Strip by Audio Thing. I looked at the demo and immediately just clicked buy full version because it's absolutely awesome. Now, I sent the link for the YouTube video I made to Audio Thing and they responded with a very nice message. Please, would you like to try another plugin? I thought, well, that would be lovely. So they have very graciously given me another plugin to show you. This one's called Reels, and it simulates a sort of small Japanese tape recorder from, well, the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And it's fantastic, and I'm going to give you a demo of it. Now, I've got my 4 bars of my tune, just a rhythm, and I'm going to demonstrate some features of this. Now, just dry to start with. So it's kind of that. And then let's hear what Reels does. I grew up with this. Hiss and lots of noise and crackle and motor noise and all of that sort of stuff. Now if I switch it on, you can hear 2 artifacts there, one of hiss and motor noise. Now generally speaking you wouldn't get these when it's in stop mode, but you do have the option to hear them on their own with this envelope button here. If I switch that on, the noise and motor noise won't be there unless you press play. There we go, they disappeared now, but essentially they just disappear very slightly after you've pressed stop, which is very helpful. You can just have a brief check of that. Now, I'm just going to keep that on for a minute. Now, we have all these other things. Harshness, wow, flutter, ducking, crosstalk. What do all those mean? Well, I grew up with tape. I mean, this is a reel of 1/4-inch tape, which would have gone onto one of these machines and you record your music off the radio or your record player. And you can make your compilation tapes and your spoken word of, you know, listening to Granny talking about whatever. Now, all of these things, all of these little 4 controls here are imperfections of the original. Now, harshness, that's just, it just makes the treble really sort of a bit over the top and a bit flat and flabby. I'll give you a demo. So from 0 to maximum. Really did make that sort of treble very flabby and fuzzy. Now, wow, flutter. These are tape speed variations. When you have a reel of tape like this, and you put it on your supply, you put it in your tape machine, and it drags it through to the other reel, it goes past the heads, but it also is driven by something called a pinch roller and capstan. Now, the pinch roller is a piece of rubber, which over time gets harder, and if it's left in play mode, it'll put a little sort of dent in it, and you get these sort of little sort of variations in your pitch. And that's what flutter is. It's quick variations in the pitch. Now, wow is really the overall sort of stability of the motor that drives the capstan. And I'm going to give you a demo of what happens when it's right up the top now. You ready for this? It's lovely. It's brilliant. Now, just the control over on the left-hand side, I'll just briefly explain that before I go any further. We've got a switch top left, JP, IT and FR. These are machines from Japan, Italy and France. And actually the quality diminishes as you go towards the right. That's not being unfair on France, it's just a nice simulation. So I'll just give you that. Here's French. The other end of the scale. There's slightly higher fidelity with the Japanese, and in the middle, Italian sound is kind of between the two. We've got tape speed here. Now, the speed of the tape that goes through, the higher the speed, the better the quality. Now, 1.87 is the standard adopted by Philips in 1963 for their new compact cassette, which is still very much in existence and quite a decent format for home use. 3 3/4, double that speed, you get better treble response. So if I just flick between those two speeds, you'll hear this. So there's quite a subtle but noticeable difference there. Now I'm just going to go to ducking now. This is kind of it's a little bit of a compression, a sort of tape compressions thing. I'll just show you that. So it's a sort of compressor with quite a long release. And then we've got crosstalk. Now what happens is a tape machine, a piece of tape like this here, will have two tracks on it, one at the top, one at the bottom, and that's left and right. And crosstalk simulates how much one signal sort of affects the circuitry of the other one. And really it's kind of bringing the stereo into a mono field more. It's a nice effect that you can make it sound like an old tape deck. There is a mono switch as well, which really does sum them completely. Now we've got a tape delay. I'm going to just go to the drums for this, because this isn't just for your stereo master. This can be used on individual instruments as well. So if I just solo the drums out and bring up reels, there we go. I've got my mix. Yeah, everything's set up nicely there. Straight through it was this. So you have the full frequency range. Now, if I switch on the tape echo, check this out. So we've got the delay time, which you can set either by syncing to your tune, which I've done here, or you have a free sort of certain number of milliseconds delay. That can be quite nice. You can get some really crazy sort of cross rhythms. Feedback is the number of delays you get. Low pass is the treble response of the echoes themselves. So if you listen to the drums, all the echoes are just sort of shadows, really. Or you have this. As realistic for me for the drums. Then you have an overall level control. And then you have a delay only, which is quite nice. Nice. Okay, I'll just leave that for the drums at the moment, because I'm going to go back to the master to show you the last few things. Reels, here we go. So this is the master now. We've got this record and stop thing here. Now what this does is to simulate the stopping of the tape with the heads essentially still active. And you can set the speed at which it starts and stops. We have something here called, that's rather good. I hope you'd agree, that's really, really good. Pre-emphasis is sort of how much top end you load onto your tape. So it's quite harsh with the treble response. If I just show you that, just start recording. There we go. You can create some tape saturation by overloading your input on the master here and then turning the output down a bit. Now, of course, all of this can be changed with the mix control. We can allow some of the original through and just add a little bit of that distortion. this really does allow you to use this plugin to sort of simulate a tape recorder that's a bit better than the design of the original. There we are. This is really, really fantastic piece of kit. And that hiss and motor noise reminds one of yesteryear, and it's very, very powerful. So, Reels by Audio Thing. You know what to do.